Right now, snap your fingers and imagine the sun simply vanishes. Not explodes, vanishes. Gone, like it was never there. Here's the first shock. For 8 minutes and 20 seconds, you would have absolutely no idea. The sky stays blue. The sun still hangs there, warm and bright. Birds sing. Nothing is wrong. Except everything is already wrong. The world just hasn't been told yet. You'd be living inside a countdown you literally cannot see, basking in the light of a star that no longer exists. And when the news finally arrives, it arrives all at once. So today we're running the experiment second by second. What actually happens to Earth and to you the instant the sun blinks out. We'll cover why you get 8 minutes of blissful ignorance, the exact moment 2 catastrophes hit at once, what really kills the planet first. Spoiler, it is not the cold, and the strange corner of Earth where life could quietly survive for ages. Stick around, because the most unsettling part isn't the ending. It's the delay. Start with the weirdest fact in the whole scenario. You don't find out immediately. And the reason is that nothing in the universe is truly instant. Not even the pull of gravity. Sunlight takes about 8 minutes and 20 seconds to cross the 93 million miles to Earth. So the sunlight hitting your face right now actually left the sun 8 minutes ago. And here's the part that trips people up. Gravity works the same way. According to Einstein, gravity is not an instant tug across space. It travels at the speed of light too. So when the sun vanishes, the last light it ever emitted and the last gravitational pull it ever exerted are already on their way to you, cruising through space like a letter that's already been mailed. For 8 minutes and 20 seconds, Earth keeps orbiting a sun that isn't there, warmed by light from a sun that's already gone. You are briefly haunted by a ghost. And then, 8 minutes and 20 seconds in, the ghost runs out. And 2 disasters arrive at the exact same instant. At the 8-minute 20 mark, 2 things happen together. First, the sky goes dark. Not sunset dark, total, permanent night. In the middle of the afternoon, everywhere the sun was shining. The last photons stream past, and there are none behind them. But the second thing is the truly violent one. The instant the sun's gravity cuts out, Earth stops being held in its curve. For your whole life, Earth has been falling around the sun, constantly getting tugged into a giant circle. Take the tug away, and Earth does not get flung outward like a slingshot. It does something stranger and simpler. It obeys Newton's first law and flies off in a perfectly straight line, at the speed it was already going, about 67,000 miles an hour. In an instant, Earth becomes a rogue planet, a world with no star, sailing off into the dark. And it is not just us. Every planet snaps free at once and scatters, like marbles flying off a table the moment you kick the leg out. Now, your instinct is probably screaming, we all freeze instantly, like the oceans flash to ice in seconds. And that's the fun part. That's wrong. Earth is a big, warm rock with a molten heart and a thick blanket of atmosphere and ocean, and all of that holds heat surprisingly well. In the first week, the global average temperature would drop below freezing, sure, but to slide, not a snap. The thing that actually dooms the surface first isn't the cold at all. It's the dark. The instant the light dies, photosynthesis stops, everywhere, all at once. Every plant, every blade of grass, every drop of ocean plankton loses the engine that feeds it. And that plankton and those plants are the bottom of nearly every food chain on Earth. Within days to weeks, the base of the living world starts to collapse, and everything built on top of it begins to topple. The lights didn't just go out. The kitchen closed. Quick question before we go colder. Picture how long you think the oceans would stay frozen solid, top to bottom. Got a number? Hold it, because the real answer is thousands of times longer than you're imagining, and it hides Earth's last secret. As the weeks turn to months, the surface keeps plunging, past -50, heading toward -100 degrees Celsius and colder, on its way to nearly matching the deep cold of space. The oceans begin to freeze. But here's the twist that saves the story from being a total wipeout. They freeze from the top down. And ice is a fantastic insulator. That growing lid of ice acts like a blanket, trapping heat beneath it. So while the surface becomes a frozen, airless wasteland, the deep oceans stay liquid. Not for years, but for hundreds of thousands of years, kept warm from below by the leftover heat of Earth's own core. The planet's surface would be dead and dark, but miles down, in the black, liquid water would still be sloshing quietly along as if nothing had happened. Which raises the question, could anything actually live down there in a sunless world? And astonishingly, yes. At the bottom of our oceans, around cracks called hydrothermal vents, there are entire ecosystems that have never needed the sun at all. They don't run on sunlight. They run on chemicals and heat leaking up from inside the Earth. Whole communities of microbes, tube worms, and strange creatures thrive there in total darkness, powered purely by the planet itself. If the sun vanished, those vent ecosystems wouldn't even notice for a very long time. Life on Earth wouldn't end. It would retreat down into the dark, into the deep, and simply wait it out, riding a frozen rogue planet through the empty night between the stars. So here's the twist that lingers. The most disturbing part of the sun vanishing isn't the freezing or the endless night or Earth flying off into nowhere. It's those first 8 minutes and 20 seconds when the catastrophe has already happened, but you're still standing in warm sunlight, completely at peace because the news hasn't reached you yet. And here's the thing that should genuinely unsettle you. You don't need the sun to vanish to feel that. Every single time you look up at a star in the night sky, you're seeing light that left it years, centuries, sometimes thousands of years ago. Some of those stars are already dead. You are, right now tonight, looking at ghosts and never knowing it. So no, if the sun vanished, you wouldn't feel a thing. Not for 8 minutes and 20 seconds. You'd get one last, perfect, ordinary afternoon, lit by a star that no longer exists, blissfully unaware that the world had already ended. And then the dark would arrive, and the pull would vanish, and Earth would quietly slip its orbit and sail off into forever, carrying a frozen surface, a hidden ocean, and deep down in the black, a stubborn little pocket of life that never needed the sun in the first place.